I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House NYC. This week, we're all about impressive and stylish homes in both New York and Los Angeles, including this Brooklyn apartment with panoramic views. And we're inside this bungalow that's a personalized ode to both a life of travel and the California dream. We tour this chic abode in the West Village, designed to maximize style in a small space. Plus, this downtown Los Angeles loft that combines Japanese aesthetics with America's industrial past. But before all that, we journey to Inwood for a look at the memorable Art Deco inspired live-work home of architect Christopher Rollins.
I took it right down to the studs and reimagined it from head to toe. Let's take a closer look, shall we?
Welcome to Open House NYC, everyone. We are starting this week's show uptown, way uptown in Inwood. Upper Manhattan is known for its stock of pristine Art Deco buildings, and architect Christopher Rollins' live-work apartment is both inspired by and a bit of a reinvention of that design movement. We join him for a closer look.
Hello, I'm Christopher Rollins. I'm an architect, and I'm here to welcome you to my live-work abode in Inwood. This is a one-bedroom apartment in a 1930s Art Deco building that overlooks Inwood Hill Park. I took it right down to the studs and reimagined it from head to toe. Let's take a closer look, shall we? One thing I love about pre-war buildings are their generous foyers. When done correctly, it provides a crucial threshold between the chaos of the city and the calm of a successful apartment. I started with the floors, which are a mix of Zebrano wood and wide plank maple. I also drew from Inwood Hill Park, which is just on the opposite side of this foyer, with this green ombre wallpaper. And I didn't ignore the front door. From the outside, it's the original 1935 version, but from the inside, I clad it in Zebrano wood with alternating grain. This is influenced by the Katsura Villa in Japan. And if you notice, I added a panel above the door to make the whole thing look taller. This is a combined living and dining room where most of the action happens. Let's start with the sofa. This is a vintage piece from the early 50s. I love how the lime green upholstery is a bit like the ombre wall covering in the foyer. Opposite the sofa are these sculptural chairs inspired by the Italian modernist Marco Zanuso. To the extent I can, I don't rely just on overhead illumination. Low lights, sconces, lamps, all of those combined are what give you the greatest and most even illumination. In order to differentiate the dining area from the living area, I put in this pendant. It's constructed of one continuous piece of wood veneer that is backlit, and it's a bit like a cloud. Around the table, I placed these Hans Wegner chairs, stained black, and I love how those curved lines are like a charcoal drawing. And of course, as an architect, I'm obsessed with drawings. Before we head to the bedroom, I just want you to take a look at the curved ceilings. I did this to house the central AC ductwork. Usually these are pretty ugly, boxy soffits, but I decided to turn a limitation into a virtue. And I had a lot of fun designing these pocket doors that track the curve. For my bedroom, I wanted a space that was both big enough to store all my clothes and other items, yet also had an intimate quality to it. I custom designed this large maple dresser that floats off the floor. We clad all of the bedroom walls in this warm linen. There was a steam riser here, so we thickened the wall to hide it, which gave us an opportunity to create these nice channels for blackout shades. For over the bed, I was originally enamored with a $17,000 chandelier that was by a French designer, but when that didn't pan out, I decided to design one out of $150 worth of copper plumbing pipe instead. This bed is low to the ground and sculptural. You know you've made it in New York when you don't have to store anything under your bed. I actually wrote a book called Fire Island Modernist, Horace Gifford and the Architecture of Seduction. And perhaps there's a little bit of that going on here. In case you haven't noticed after seeing my home, I'm also a historian of design, and it was a lot of fun to bring all of those influences here and actually be able to live with them. Thanks for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the tour.
Don't go anywhere because we have so much more ahead, including a tour of this harmonious loft that combines Japanese aesthetics with America's industrial past. Welcome back. Now we're in downtown Los Angeles with architect and designer Amanda Gunawan. Her bright and organically designed loft in the former Nabisco biscuit factory is filled with contrasting styles that still feel harmonious. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Amanda Gunawan. I'm founding principal of OU Design and Inflection Builds, and we designed the space. This space is my residence, and I spend a lot of time here. My design firm, we thrive in intentional design, purposeful design, and thoughtful design, and careful craftsmanship accompanied with that. And you're gonna see that throughout the entire space. The first stop on our tour is this guest bedroom. It doesn't look like a guest bedroom because the futon is actually stored under here, and this serves as a platform bed if I have a guest around. So what drew me to this loft was the natural light. On top of that, I saw the potential in being able to use colors and materials to kind of unify the space. Things like these Akari lights, they're like paper lanterns. The softness about it goes with the light colored wood that I picked out for this space. It evokes like a sense of like tranquility. I'm obsessed with tea. I drink matcha every morning and I make my own. And I also love ceramics. So when I travel, I actually collect ceramics, and I have a shelf right over there. So even though I have all my ceramics over here, I usually make the tea in the kitchen. So let's go there and have a look. The kitchen was designed according to my lifestyle. I wanted a huge counter over here because I'm a big sushi fan, and I wanted something where I could easily serve sushi, kind of like a bar. So somebody could be prepping fish over here and be able to like just serve right there. Everything's kind of in a neutral palette. Even when it comes to materials and textures, it's very intentional. We wanted light woods, we wanted the grays, we wanted the beiges, so that nothing really screams out. Everything's kind of just like unified. The living room is the heart of the home, and it keeps everything connected. Again, not only does it get the nicest natural lighting, it's also the largest space volumetrically. And that's because the living room is the space with this double volume height. This particular style of lights, they're from Floss, and I really like them because I'm allowed to really sculpt the entire ceiling, kind of like an art piece. So believe it or not, this building actually used to be the Nabisco Biscuit Company. The challenge for me was, how do I soften the bedroom area given the industrial ruggedness of this building? So let's go upstairs and have a look. What I love about this space is that I put this together with my team with our bare hands, and it's become such a personal project to us because we picked the wood, stained the wood, sanded the wood, so we feel a huge sense of pride even as we're like talking about it. I really love my books, so I made sure to create a lot of shelving. I wanted them to be seen from my bedroom. Waking up here every morning feels very calming. It feels like you're waking up in a hotel. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour of the Biscuit Loft, and thank you for stopping by.
We have to take a short break, but coming up in just a few minutes, we are in Greenwich Village for a look at the big design in this small space. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Open House NYC. Now we're in Greenwich Village with architect Alexander Gorlin. He shows us around a studio apartment that's a lesson in maximizing style in a smaller space. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Alex Gorlin, an architect based in New York City, and welcome to my home in Greenwich Village. What I first loved about the apartment was the amazing view of downtown Manhattan, then second, the great terrace that surrounded the apartment. Even though it was a total wreck, it was a hidden gem just waiting to be polished. This is Eileen Gray's E1027 house, and it was most of the inspiration for the design of this apartment, especially how she opened up the sleeping area to the living area. This entry area includes the closet, as well as my collection of miniature buildings. I visited most of these. This is from Brazil, Oscar Niemeyer, of course the Capitol, Chrysler Building. In fact, I've built this shelf specifically for this collection. The dining area is defined by the great knoll table designed by Eero Saarinen. Surrounding the table are 6 chairs whose profile reflects the Saarinen table, very comfortable and covered with a lush green fabric. There's really one long wall in this apartment, and after going to the Rijksmuseum, I was looking for the longest painting possible, and what came up was this painting of 30 Dutch soldiers from 1643. Each one of the soldiers stares at me at some point or another, but they're always good company. The painting also serves as a link between the dining area and the living area. This living area is defined by this sunburst pattern carpet by Bachman Brown, and 2 squiggle chairs from Belgium in a similar green fabric to the dining chairs. Then this sofa from Dunbar is angled to look out to the view. I love this coffee table because it's clear, geometric, and it doesn't block anything. This surfboard light from the 50s is whimsical in shape and also was a visual link to the towers on the horizon. And this is sleeping area. Because the sleeping area is open and visible to the rest of the apartment, it had to have a real wow factor. Not only does it have incredible views, but because it's surrounded by the terrace, you feel like you're sleeping in a garden. I did everything not to make it feel like a bed, but to make it feel like part of the entertaining area. It's floating and surrounded by a cushioned headboard. It's in a subtle range of teal from light to dark. And what I really love about it is that it's cozy and sexy at the same time. Above the bed, we found this great mirror of sculptural shapes that reflect the view from different angles. Initially, I thought it would be too much, but it turned out it wasn't enough, so we mirrored the entire wall. I love the terrace. I love spending time out there and enjoying my lavender and roses and pine tree. I feel like I'm in the countryside suspended above the city. I hope you enjoyed my apartment and seeing how design and architecture can work together to take a small space and make it feel expansive, modern, fresh, and stylish. See you next time.
Just after the break, we tour this personalized homage to the California lifestyle and a life of travel. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're visiting the Hancock Park area of Los Angeles with Katrien van der Schuren, the Belgian-born founder of Voila Creative Studio. Katrien is an artist and a fabricator, and she designed her Spanish bungalow-style home to be a reflection of her life. Take a look.
Hello, my name is Katrien van der Schuren. I own Voila Creative Studio, and I want to welcome you to my home. This is our 1920s Spanish bungalow that we filled with all of my own creations and finds over the years. I can't wait to share my house with you, so let's go and have a tour. moved to the United States, I started as a picker. I would find vintage finds in Europe and bring them over. You can see a couple here, like this chandelier, which is from the 1970s, this golden table, and this dine lettering, which is vintage theater lettering that I found and turned it into an art piece here. You also see some chairs that I made myself. These are hand-dyed with the British flag on it. It is a great family gathering area. We have a lot of talks here and everybody finds their space and their seat. The living room is the place where we go after dinner. This living room is also my office. I love to sit in the couch on my computer and work and see everybody pass. I wanted to make furniture that also was art. My favorite piece is the round circle that you see there and is filled with vintage clocks. When I put this piece together, some alarms still went off. Across from me is one of my favorite chairs. It's a chair full of quotes that I love. This chair, I didn't make it myself, but I love the colors and the fact that it's like so many knots. Must take hours and hours and hours to make. I wanted my bedroom to feel like a place where I could come to rest and read a book. And it had to have my personality. So we brought in a lot of European history. You can see a backdrop that was used by the Paris Opera House. We antiqued a chandelier. And as a picker, you find the weirdest things. One time I found a whole container full of mannequins and body parts of mannequins. And so I created a lot of pieces like that. This room is always changing. I bring in other pieces, like this piece that is behind me, which I just made. But tomorrow it can be something else, and so it keeps on inspiring me in different ways. So I really wanted this to be my happy place, and so we gave it pops of pink, and everything feels really natural and connected to the nature. And the place that gets a lot of attention is the pool area. And it's surrounded by sculptures, by mirrors. So when you're swimming in the pool, from every angle, you'll have a lot to look at. Thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun showing you my house. I'm now going to take a swim and enjoy the rest of the day. I hope you do too.
Here is a sneak peek at our last stop after the break.
We wanted to be sure that if you sat here for a dinner, you had a great view of the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, or anything in between.
We'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back to Open House NYC. Now architect Mark Gardner takes us on a tour of one of his firm's projects in downtown Brooklyn. Located high up in the old Williamsburg Savings Bank Tower, Gardner created an apartment that's both imaginative and unpredictable. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Mark Gardner with Jackledge Gardner Architects. Welcome to Fort Greene, Brooklyn. We're in a 3,200 square foot apartment high up in the Williamsburg Savings Bank Tower. So one of the first things we knew we had to do was to incorporate these incredible New York views. This is one of our best residential projects and can't wait to show it to you. The minute you walk into the apartment, you enter into the living room. And to keep an unobstructed view, we used all low-profile furniture. Our work is modern, clean-lined. We try to capture warmth through materials and detail. And we have this custom couch, a custom end table, and a coffee table with a glass top, allowing us to see a custom rug done by our office. And to finish off the space, we have this Lindsay Adelman light on a Venetian rubbed plaster wall. Our clients love to entertain, and we wanted to be sure this was the perfect space for them to host friends and colleagues. And when they're having a party, we made sure the design allowed for a flow into this next space. Again, in the dining room, we wanted to capture the views, and so we placed the dining table between these dual exposures. Because our clients like to entertain, we knew this space would be used a lot, and so we have this custom light fixture that is the center of the space and grabs the attention of the room. And to complement this light fixture, we needed a truly unique dining table. So our office designed this custom dining table that has 3 different configurations to allow for different seating arrangements. Another design element are the lucite legs, which are featured on the top of the table that draws light below. And in order to make this a cozy setting, we added this Kagan bench to be paired with the table. We wanted to be sure that if you sat here for a dinner, you had a great view of the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, or anything in between. And since the kitchen is open to the dining room, we really wanted to make it a backdrop to that space. And so in the cabinets, we have clean lines and a monolithic material, white oak. And to add a splash of drama, we have this light fixture we custom designed with Axon Design. The goal in the bedroom was to continue the design language we used in the rest of the apartment. We designed a platform bed with custom lines and a built-in with gold relief. But the coolest part of this bedroom are the custom doors, which allow for a separation between the sitting room and the bedroom. Not only do the doors provide privacy, but they provide a patterned backdrop to the room. Even something simple as a separating wall becomes an opportunity for design. Good design is a mix of materials, colors, patterns, textures, furniture, and textiles, but it has to be coherent. Thank you for coming out.
I can't believe the show's already over. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, because we're going to keep giving you these amazing homes.